Hey friends, my name is Jessalyn McCutcheon and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to do bits of my introduction from my new book, Fighting Goliath, Slaying the Giant, a Bipolar Disorder. This book was written straight from my heart. It was written to offer compassion, understanding, and to let others know that they are not alone in this battle. It is not only written for people who live with bipolar disorder, but for their families and for their friends and anybody curious about what it's like day in and day out to live with bipolar disorder. So we're going to jump right into this. We might do this in two parts so it doesn't go very long. I know everybody's time is precious, so I appreciate you being here with me today. The stone sank into his forehead, and he fell face down on the ground. 1 Samuel 17:49. Giant steps shake the earth, leg like tree trunks, fists like stone. No one expects you to stand a chance. You are the underdog standing in front of a 9'9" Philistine giant warrior with your 5 smooth stones and a stick. You are made fun of, cursed, threatened, and mocked. David said to the Philistine, "You come against me with a sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and I'll strike you down and cut off your head. This very day I will give the carcasses of the Philistine army to the birds and the wild animals, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel. All those gathered here will know that it is not by sword or spear that the Lord saves, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give all of you into our hands." 1 Samuel 17:45 through 47. This book was not easy to write, one that I never anticipated writing. To share my story is only by the grace of God. I was 6 feet under. Would I ever achieve the victory of rising from my grave and returning to existence? Was I going to rise from the rubble and look my giant straight in the eyes? Fighting Goliath is a true story of slaying the biggest giant of my life, living with bipolar disorder. Giants can be anything that seeks to destroy or diminish the life God desires or intended for us from the very beginning. The journey we will take together combines personal stories, practical advice, and spiritual guidance. This book is for any person, family member, friend, colleague, mental health professional, or advocate who has been affected by bipolar disorder, a mental health condition. Only a small circle of friends and family knew the invisible war and the giant my family and I were facing. The ongoing battle would continue to plague me and our family for the rest of our lives. We were unprepared for this fight. What do you do when out of nowhere circumstances happen in your life that you didn't see coming? How do you keep pressing ahead? What do you do when the smokes, cloud, and the darkness suffocate? When the walls are closing in on you? What do you do when you feel like you can't go on anymore and the lie comes from the pit of despair that you don't even want to live? The questions keep marching on into infinity until you get down to the real business. What does it mean to surrender your giant to God? Satan will tempt Christians with his power. Amid all your trouble, can you still find the goodness in God? The earth groans under the weight of all your sins. The question we need to ask is, are you ready to start listening to the voice of God rather than your own? You are not capable of fighting this battle all alone. It is time to start running towards your giant head on, looking him straight in the eyes and with confidence, and knowing that God is the waymaker, our chief cornerstone. Believe that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Isaiah 54:17. Stop running in the other direction. His love can overcome the darkness in the world and heal your brokenness. We need to stop pondering about what the world says and start thinking about what he can do. He will give you the provision. I was diagnosed with bipolar 1 disorder at the age of 26. These were unwanted circumstances that I didn't want any part of. There was no amount of wishing it away or praying it away. It took years before receiving the proper diagnosis. Did I ever imagine in my wildest dreams I would be writing a book about living with an acute mental illness? I wrote this book from the perspective of lived experience. This information provided comes from years of gut-wrenching heartache and pain, trying to navigate how one is to live with bipolar disorder, a chronic illness that has no cure. However, on the other hand, you will find great trials and tribulations we face that only a big king, the King of Kings, could resolve. In the end, you will see a story of redemption by surrendering to trust in the armies of the living God. His resurrection turned me right side up after I was once turned upside down. You will see a story about a woman who is asking all the wrong questions and about a God who is with her in the waiting. A story that I can now boldly and confidently share and declare to others that He is always there in your waiting and in your suffering. We will do part 2 of the introduction in another video. This whole book is deeply personal to me, and every chapter that follows in this book continues the journey towards hope, healing, and stability. If you would like to read more of this book, this is what it looks like. It's available on Amazon. I will also drop a link in the description to this video. Or if you'd like to connect with me, you can connect with me at Fighting Goliath for Mental Illness. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate each one of you, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a great day today. Bye.